So today's a special enough day that we get a video blog post that's not on a Sunday. Not only is it the first day of the year, but it is also the feast day of the Mother of God. So we have Mary. She's my favorite. When I converted Catholic, I had Marie hyphenated with my first name because when I started to learn about Mary and her importance in the role of our salvation, I decided that I wanted to be able to model my life after her and to have her basically as my role model. And so by hyphenating my name with her name, it integrates her life into mine, and it's a constant reminder when somebody calls me Allie Marie. It's that constant reminder of where is the grace, what are you doing, where is the submissiveness. So when we look at Mary, the Mother of God, we look at a lady, a woman who was the mother of a man who was 100% man and 100% God. So he's completely divine and completely man. And Mary was the mother. She bore him. She shared his DNA. She's the only person who shares the DNA with Christ. And so she was the physical mother of God. She breastfed him. She changed his diapers. She took care of him, raised him. And then in that same step, she was the mother and nurturing that physical aspect. She was also the mother of the divine nature of God. So she was the mother of the 100% divine God. And in order for her to have done that, God would have had to have chosen her, and he would have had to have given her a special amount of grace in order to have her be able to fulfill that. So when Christ was, this past Sunday I posted on the infant baptism and circumcision. So when in the old tradition, it was Abraham, there was a covenant that God made with Abraham that the child would be circumcised at 8 days, and it was a covenant that they made. It was this outward sign that there was a commitment to the faith and a commitment that they were going to raise a faith. And it was this, similar to if you get engaged, right? You have this outward sign of an engagement ring that is saying, I love you, here's this ring, and I want, it's this outward sign of an inward commitment. So circumcision is that. It's the covenant that is made. And so Mary takes Christ to the temple at 8 days and has him circumcised. Now, Christ could have said, no, I'm not going to get circumcised. We're going to do this differently because there's going to be baptism eventually and this and that. But he doesn't. Because he fulfills the law. Christ comes as fulfillment of the law. He does not come to abolish the law. He comes to fulfill it. And just as grace and truth was established through Moses, or the law was established through Moses, grace and truth comes through Jesus Christ. So when we look at that, we see Christ and Mary and Christ, the Mother of God, taking him and fulfilling the law and bringing that to a place where it's submittal. It's saying God is number one, we are second. And so we share as sons and daughters of God. And so as sons and daughters of God, we share within that divine nature that is offered within Christ coming to earth, within Mary bringing Christ to earth as a physical and spiritual mother, who therefore becomes our spiritual mother, who takes care of us and allows us to be able to look at her and examine her motives and her thoughts and her actions that we do have the example of, and we're able to take that and grow with it. And so when we look at ourselves and we recognize the availability that we truly have to the kingdom of God as his sons and daughters, as his princes and princesses that we are, then we have the ability to see that we ourselves are inherently divine. We're designed to be divine. So that's what we are. And when we take that submittal and we take the willingness to submit to the law and to be that fulfillment of the law that Christ was, that Mary was within that, then we have the ability, we're all on the same level playing field. We all have the exact amount of availability to God as the next person. So when we talk about like us being a part of the divine, we all are at the same level playing field and we all have the same availability. And we just have to make the choice that we are going to participate fully and do the submittal and allow ourselves to, let our actions speak louder than words. We have to let our actions follow our words. We can say, oh, I'm going to pray for you, and then not do it, and then we're basically just defiling our own words. If we say we're going to do something, then do it, and then just do it. Follow through with your actions, and God will reward that. God is faithful, and He blesses those who bless Him, and He unfortunately curses those who curse Him. So we have to look at that and really examine what we're doing, and be faithful and committed, and God honors those who honor Him. And when we submit to His law and submit to His purpose and submit to His will with an open and willing spirit of humility and of gratitude and of everything else, which is all by His grace, then we are fulfilled, and He finds fulfillment within us, and the joy and the happiness that comes is real. So that's all I have for today. Happy New Year. Glad to be here. Glad I made it to Mass today, and I shared in the suffering of Christ in that. So very honored.